What's up YouTube, and welcome back to the Safe Zone. My name is the Master Reactor, and today we are going to be watching Ted Nivson's I Drove to Every Margaritaville in the USA. Now, I am so excited for this video, because ever since I saw him, promote his merch and stuff like that, a while back in, celebration of this video, I was like, oh my god, I cannot wait to watch that, and I am so excited to be watching it right now. I'm even wearing the little sweatshirt I bought from that promotion. There was also some other cool, Margaritaville inspired shirts. It was, Margarita Town or something like that. I didn't pick up any of those. I just picked up this one because it's kind of, more low-key. But still, though, I am so excited to dive into this. If you are as well, please make sure to go subscribe to Ted Nivson and Eddy because I know he's in this video. And because they were the ones that did all of this and put this all together. I'm just the one reacting to it. But after you do that, if you want to come back over and hit the subscribe button for us over here, that'd be so amazing. Because we are trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I totally think that is possible. We are very close, so please make sure you hit the subscribe button if you aren't subscribed. But while you're down there, please make sure to leave a like, as it will always help the channel, and also make sure to leave a comment on what you think I should react to next, or what you thought of the video. I am always open to suggestions, and I love hearing what you have to say. But I am so excited to dive into this. I assume this is going to be the same as the Rainforest Cafe with Margaritaville. Rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. I do know that he died, soon after this video was released, I'm pretty sure. So rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. This one goes out to you, and I'm excited to see where this one goes.
I did something really stupid again. Do you want to know what it is? This is Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. It's a restaurant started by singer-songwriter Jimmy Buffett based on his 1977 song Margaritaville. They've got fried food, Jimmy Buffett's music blasting 24/7, and of course, margaritas. It is a ridiculous restaurant and one of the strangest reasons that an entire business empire could exist. And for that reason, I drove almost 10,000 miles to go to all 22 locations in the United States and Canada. Here we go again.
Wait, hold. Okay, sorry, this opening, hold on, I need to go back. Okay, so there's fish, obviously everything tropical, they're driving, they're serious about it, they're relaxing in a chair, everything, and then it goes into this quick montage of dinosaurs and aliens. What Margaritaville did they go to? Also, it looks like we're going to be joined by a few friends, like Danny Gonzalez. That's cool. And Schlatt. I feel like that's going to go well.
Our first Margaritaville was located right in the center of Hollywood, California at Universal's CityWalk Mall. When I arrived here, there was an entire premiere going on for the new Fast and Furious movie, which was interesting, but I'm here to go to Margaritaville. And you may be wondering to yourself, Ted, after everything you went through on the Rainforest Cafe trip, why would you go on a trip like this again? Here's what happened. Last year when we were finishing our final Rainforest Cafe, we noticed that there was a Margaritaville in Las Vegas as well. So a joke between us became that next year we would go to every Margaritaville in the United States. And we laughed at the thought, and then that concept ate away at us for the next 6 months. So Eddy and I joined forces again, ready to learn about this new restaurant. We were sat with our send-off crew in a boat-designed booth where I got to take in our first stop. It had a very clear tropical motif going on, with palm trees and a painted blue sky. But my concern began when I noticed that the animals were not moving. Do they not have animatronics here? Our booth even had a TV that was playing what I could only assume to be Jimmy Buffett propaganda, I guess. Not only that, there was a noticeable lack of thunderstorms in this restaurant.
It's been 20 minutes. Where's the... There should be a thunderstorm right now.
I don't do that here, bud.
Why are we here?
So we ordered our very first margaritas of this journey, and I was feeling a culture shock, to say the least. And strangest of all, it seemed like Eddy was having a good time. Well, I guess I'll try to stay positive then. After finishing our first Margaritaville, we went to bed to prepare to drive to every single other location of this restaurant. God help us all. And we'd be doing that driving in my 2002 Toyota
Yeah.
Tacoma. Just kidding, we got a rental.
Aw.
Listen, last time we had some bumps along the road, like
You
my
could say
Tacoma
that.
breaking down twice, and we had to consider what would be more reasonable. I had to break the news to the old girl, though.
Nothing's gonna happen, okay? What do you mean? It's a rental. I don't even know its license plate number. Okay, language?
The moment of truth.
That's okay.
There was no question whether or not it was going to work.
Yeah, with the old Tacoma, it was like, we'll see.
I missed the old Tacoma already.
Our next Margaritaville was located all the way in San Antonio, Texas, so we had a lot of ground to cover before that. So we drove 373 miles from Los Angeles to Phoenix, Arizona. We made it to Phoenix.
You know what they say? What happens in Phoenix? I don't know, because I've never spent time here.
And on day 2, we had to drive 430 miles to El Paso, Texas. This drive was pretty boring. That is, of course, until we started seeing billboards for something referred to as the Thing.
Oh, is this where the aliens are coming in?
the Thing. We're thinking it might be like just a man that they found.
Just some kind of funny guy.
I'm looking for a goblin or a grim.
I want to see something fucked up.
We're in the middle of nowhere in Arizona. We're about to figure out what the Thing is. The interior of this place was like your average roadside gift shop for tourists until we found the museum.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Before we get to the museum, which I assume is just all those dinosaurs and stuff we saw in the intro, how are these popular? Like, how do these make money? That's what I want to know. Like, I've always seen like the roadside like gift shops and stuff like that, and maybe it's just because I've lived in America, like, and just been, especially in Florida, and been surrounded by all of this like thrift shop, like mixed with like merch stores for Disney and Universal, like literally being everywhere. So I don't know if it's just me being like desensitized to it, but whenever I see like a roadside stuff like this, unless it has like a big like statue or something, and it's like you can like this is a museum, so sure, but like just the gift shops that are on the side of like long highways, why do those work? I don't get that, because I never want to go in and say like, oh, I want to buy this little trinket for my shelf. I do collect trinkets, but just not in the middle of the desert. I don't know. That might just be me not getting it, but every time I've driven through there, I've always driven right past. So I guess this is what I'm missing out on, so...
This museum was absolutely ridiculous. They would ask important questions like, what if dinosaurs were ruled by aliens from another planet? We had stumbled upon the greatest and the dumbest museum in the middle of nowhere. They had entire lore on these aliens. They had life-size sculptures of these guys too. And I don't know who designed these alien sculptures, but they made them kind of sexy, which was distracting. God, oh my God, getting turned on in this museum. Turns out the aliens were secretly controlling all of human history. Great. Cool. Oh, jeez. Then they just started pulling connections from everywhere. The Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, Illuminati, the Easter Island heads, a picture of the Twin Towers. I hope this... isn't implying what I think it is. And at the end of the museum, we finally got to figure out what the Thing was. And that was this.
I mean...
It's a papier-mâché doll, essentially.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we finished our drive to El Paso, admittedly slightly more confused than when we started. On day 3, we finally made it to the location of our second Margaritaville in San Antonio, Texas. This Margaritaville was located at the coolest and only place that I've been to in San Antonio, the Riverwalk. And we'd be joined here by a friend.
How the hell are you?
You
excited?
That's right, Schlatt's joining us for our second Jimmy Buffett experience. The first thing I noticed was the massive blender they had right when you walked in.
$10, you can't finish that.
10? Is it drinkable?
We got sat down in the far corner of this restaurant, and I don't know what happened here, but I am suspicious that this is where Jimmy Buffett waterboards people. Also, our table was decorated with multiple iterations of the same photo of Jimmy Buffett on a paddleboard, which was kind of funny. Then it was time for our next margarita. I got the Beach Club, which was a massive sandwich, and I kind of had a hard time determining where the sandwich actually split. Eddie ordered fish and chips, and they unfortunately did not look very good.
Eddie, I cooked those up in my microwave the other day.
We even got a cute little family photo taken of us. Look at that. Still so full of joy I was. So we said our goodbyes to this Margaritaville. Then we strolled along the Riverwalk, and along the way, we actually stumbled upon an old friend, the Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
It's the Rainforest Cafe.
I love the
Remember that
Rainforest
one from,
Cafe.
San Antonio.
tiger, I think, in that. Hey.
We gotta go.
We left San Antonio to drive to Austin, Texas to
warm
crash at Schlatt's
flashback.
place because tomorrow we had to keep heading east.
Bye, Schlatt. Bye, Schlatt.
Bye, Schlatt.
Thank you so much.
You guys gotta get the fuck out of here.
No, we can stick around.
Oh,
It'll
no,
be like a fun day.
he's
Oh, okay.
broken.
Yep. All right.
He's very broken.
So we departed from Austin on our way to New Orleans where we'd be staying the night. Wait. Oh my God, he's back. We were passing by my favorite beaver-themed
No,
gas station,
not
Bucky's.
Bucky's.
And you
Anything
know
but
we had to
Bucky's.
stop. I was almost losing my mind with excitement rolling up to this paradise. And walking in, it was just as glorious as I remember. It was a madhouse in here. And they still had everything. Fresh fruit,
You know what's crazy? Like about Bucky's is that like it's like grown this kind of like cult following. At least maybe it's just because on TikTok things spread around so quickly that it's like become its own kind of trend. But I've seen so many people like wearing like Bucky's hoodies or saying that like we have to stop by Bucky's on our road trip. On every road trip I went on ever, which granted was like 2, but I never saw a Bucky's once. Like the only Bucky's I think that I know of is like in Tallahassee or somewhere near there. In Florida. There might be some more south, but I'm not too sure. And I am nowhere near close enough to make that drive up there just to go to Bucky's. But like I've seen like this kind of thing, but I've never seen a Bucky's itself. Like the love station that has like multiple restaurants, a big like gift shop and like convenience store, and then the gas station outside. I've seen those, but I've never seen a Bucky's. So maybe we do maybe we do a TMR road trip one day, a TM road trip. Let me know if you'd want to see that. It's definitely distant future because I'm in college and I can't leave right now, but it definitely seems interesting. I might have to
bags,
stop by.
jerky. It was overwhelming. Party supplies, river tubes, delicious brisket. I was losing my mind. A sausage on a stick? The beaver owns the banks? What the fuck is a beaver nugget? My love for mascots. My love for theme. Oh God, it's happening again.
Oh my God, Ted.
You got a problem, dude.
What are you talking about?
You're buying party hats and party napkins?
This is a really clean napkin. Would you like to try?
So most napkins are clean when you buy it.
This is a Bucky
Yeah,
certified napkin, as in it's certified to clean the mess you make when you eat a delicious Bucky sandwich.
Oh, so like what any napkin would be.
I don't know about the other napkins.
True.
Okay? I haven't heard about the other napkins.
There's a huge market of other napkins.
Name one brand of napkins other than Bucky's napkins.
I don't know, a single napkin brand.
I was gonna say Ziploc, but they don't make napkins, they make bags. Oh. Damn. He's got a point. I can't think of one.
We traveled about 90 miles to Biloxi, Mississippi for our next location. And you're about to learn I wasn't lying when I said that Jimmy Buffett had created an entire business empire from this single song. Because in addition to Margaritaville, you've got Cheeseburger in Paradise Restaurant, Land Shark Bars, a beer of the same name, frozen drink machines, portable tailgate grills, apparel, drinkware, and as we're seeing for the first time in Biloxi, Margaritaville resorts. For the purpose of this
Oh,
trip,
there's
as
a
long
lot
as
of
these
those in
resorts
Florida.
contain or are close to a Margaritaville, we'll be staying at them. Arriving here, we were confronted with the true scale of this empire that Jimmy had built. Everything in this resort was Margaritaville. They even had a Margaritaville coffee shop in the lobby, and upon entering our room, we were assaulted with more island vibes. There was even quotes from Jimmy Buffett in the elevators.
Quite the poet, this guy.
He really just knows how to say something that like doesn't really mean anything, but also means everything.
We had to travel through a
That is the art of song making. You can find so many songs out there that the lyrics are just like so strange. Like the breathe in, breathe out, move on. Like it's meaning like take a deep breath and get over like the struggle and just keep going. Like that's what it means. But also I breathe in, breathe out, and move on every time I take a step. So like it means nothing at the same time it means everything. So like there's tons of songs out there that do that. Yeah, no, that quote just caught me off guard because like, yeah, you're breathing. Keep going, I guess.
massive arcade as well, but we eventually found our way to Margaritaville number 3. We were sat next to this volcano-type structure that doubled as a rock wall people could climb on, which was interesting. This time I ordered a tropical fruit margarita, which I did not expect to be a slushie. And just when we thought this would be another average dinner, without any warning, alarm bells rang, and the volcano began to expel smoke. I could feel myself having flashbacks to the thunderstorms from the Rainforest Cafe. But all of that changed and reality set in when the volcano played this sound effect.
What the fuck was that?
And then immediately after, the restaurant begins blasting the song Margaritaville as we sit in a green haze of confusion. Okay then. Another perk we got when booking this resort was some preloaded arcade credits for downstairs. But since the arcade was about to close, we only each had time to play a single game. Needless to say, it wasn't very hard for me to figure out which game I'd be playing. Minions.
Why? I get it. I do the same thing, but what does this have to do with Margaritaville? Actually, wait, no, never mind. It's Margaritaville smashing minions. Wait. It's Margaritaville hitting minions with a hammer. That's better worded. So it's like Margaritaville themed minions hate. Okay. Never mind. Continue, Ted.
We are about to hit a storm, and I don't know how it's going to affect me, because we are getting closer to what I would call the Jimmy Buffett, Florida, Margaritaville Tropical Supercluster. What does that mean, Wow? There's a total of 6 Margaritavilles in Florida. One might consider this to be the base of Jimmy Buffett's power.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm already struggling a little bit. There's no animatronic animals. There's no thunderstorms.
I feel like each Margaritaville is like an obsidian tower in like the end in Minecraft. And you have to drink a margarita each one is like to shoot the end crystals. And then once they're all defeated, Jimmy Buffett was at his weakest, so he then passed on. I'm not making light of his death. I'm just saying the coincidences are all there. Like,
I don't understand what I'm supposed to like about this place. What, Jimmy Buffett? He's just a guy. Either way, we're hitting the road again. Wish me luck.
So I held my breath as we drove into the storm for our first Margaritaville of this supercluster in Destin, Florida. This Margaritaville was different than any of the previous ones we'd seen, as it had the most tropical feeling location.
That doesn't even look like it should operate as a boat.
In terms of being considered a themed restaurant, though, I was not impressed. It was basically just a beach. But hey, another margarita and things hadn't gotten too bad yet.
You know what could be fun for the video? Smashing 10 of these and then driving.
That sounds like a really, really bad idea.
Yeah, not all my ideas are good. You're gonna have
I can see that Eddy that schlatt wore off on Eddy a bit when they were back in Texas, I guess.
to get used to it, sweetheart.
I don't know what came over me, but I ended up ordering chicken tenders while Eddy ordered salmon, which resulted in our meals looking like Eddy was my well-adjusted father and I was his son that refused to eat anything that was not orange.
We got in the car at just the right moment because it immediately started just like pouring.
We did it, we're out of the rain.
Eddie's very similar to a witch. It'll start to melt.
Sometimes I ride around on a broom and I go,
You can't fly, so it's just kind of like you basically hobby horsing around.
yeah, but you have to bring that up to everybody? You gotta just fucking tell the world that I can't fly.
I'm sorry.
Start the
I'm
car.
sorry. I'm sorry. Which way?
Stop!
Next up was the Margaritaville in Panama City Beach, Florida. This location was maybe 5 times as busy as the previous one. So to get seated, we sat at the bar. At this point, I was already getting exhausted. There were so many animals in this Margaritaville, and none of them were animatronics. And then, even though I was full, I ordered more food. I don't know what was going through my head. I think I thought it would give me more energy, but I just regretted it after.
I continue to eat. I ate more artichoke dip. I don't know why I did that.
Then we drove to our hotel for the night and got to enjoy maybe the most beautiful sunset I had ever seen. You know, my problems with the Margaritavilles were growing already, but I'm not gonna lie and say that this wasn't a really nice moment. It was pretty.
Those beaches, especially the beaches in the Gulf, which is where Panama City is at. Well, this Panama City. The clearer water, the sunsets are always like super bright. The coast on the Gulf Coast is very beautiful at sunset. The Atlantic, however, it's just kind of the ocean.
I don't even know how else to explain it. It was just
And it's always covered in seaweed. Like, what I've noticed is, like, there's seaweed in the ocean. I get that. But, like, whenever I go to, like, the Gulf side, like, the Gulf Coast, it's, like, clearer waters. There's less seaweed. There's less, like, shells and stuff like that. And it's just, like, kind of just, like, a nicer experience. But then whenever I go to, at least whenever I go to, like, middle Florida coast, like, middle on the Atlantic side, there's always, like, the beaches are, like, covered in seaweed. Like, the shells are, like sharp rocks that line the waterline. Like, I still have a great time because the beach is just fun and relaxing, but the Gulf Coast is just so much better.
gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. Tomorrow we'd continue into Florida's supercluster, but at this point, we now officially had
5 done. Such a relief.
On day 7, we had to drive the entire length of Florida in a single day to our next Margaritaville in Hollywood, Florida. And we had an increasing worry that, judging by the rain clouds, Florida was not going to make it easy for us.
Nope, not at all.
Oh my God.
This rain came down on us as if it was a message from the rainforest gods that we were committing high treason.
Ridiculous.
In all of my years of
Tracy Tree's just like, you dare go to Jimmy Buffett's restaurant? How dare you not have a thunderstorm every 20 minutes? You want a thunderstorm every 20 minutes? Here's your thunderstorm! And it's like, just casts rain on them.
driving, I had not dealt with rain like this. Whenever it was pelting down on us, we dropped to like 50 feet of visibility in seconds. It also made me a bit nervous because I had packed most of my clothing in the back of the truck, which was only protected by a tarp. Hope that doesn't go badly. This rain would haunt us all the way until we reached our destination, the Hollywood, Florida Margaritaville Resort. Now, I was expecting this resort to be the same island-themed kitsch as Biloxi, but then we walked into the lobby. This was the fanciest hotel I'd ever been to, and also giant flip-flop.
Fits you, Bigfoot looking ass Sasquatch
Come on, man.
motherfucker.
This hotel was so massive that they gave us a map, which we had to use to find our 6 Margaritaville.
It's a labyrinth in here, and Jimmy Buffett might be the Minotaur.
We eventually
just
found the
about to
restaurant,
say.
and I could feel this one weighing down on me. More boats, Jimmy Buffett music, this plane again. I keep seeing this plane. We opened up our meal with yet another margarita, and it turns out this Margaritaville was the first fancy Margaritaville we would run into. And I know that sounds like weird and contradictory, but the menu was significantly different than what we were used to. We got ceviche, which was honestly really good, and also these poke nachos. And I know that I'm suspicious of Jimmy
do look
Buffett, but
very
these were
good.
good. And not good in the sense of them being like merely acceptable. These were really good, which was emotionally and logically confusing for me, so I continued to drink. Eddie was beginning
It'd be like that. No, I'm kidding. I don't drink. I'm underage. But weird Jimmy Buffett story. I just thought of this, and I just wanted to find like an appropriate like time to pause. Jimmy Buffett had like this Broadway show. It was either a Broadway show or an off-Broadway show, and it was like, I think it was like called like Margaritaville or something like that. But I remember I went to go see it because I was younger and my dad kind of just like forced the family to go. Because he's a huge Jimmy Buffett fan, and Jimmy Buffett has like, they're fun songs. I'm just not personally a fan of them, but they're fun songs. People jam out to them. It's totally fine. And so, but I didn't really want to go see like a whole show about it, but he brought us along anyway. It was generally a very entertaining show. I think they all did great, but there was this one scene at the very end when like the Jimmy Buffett self-insert character, and I know he's a self-insert character because he looked exactly like Jimmy Buffett, and he owned a plane, and like he said all the lines. Like throughout the whole like show, he was like flirting with like the bartender, and then at the end they walk across the stage in like this like big prop, where they're like both like in bed. Like it looks like they're both in bed, and like it's this joke. I don't remember that joke as being funny, but every time I bring that up, my dad says that I was like dying laughing. I might have been, but I don't remember that happening at all. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up that show is very much the exact same as all these restaurants, heavily themed, heavily referential to Jimmy Buffett, and just the exact same every single time.
Beginning to show some interesting symptoms at this point. He was dancing, he was sipping on the margs, he was feeling the, I guess, island vibes? You're telling me that Eddy, rainforest hater Burback, is enjoying himself at Margaritaville? Something was happening to Eddy, a metamorphosis of some kind. What are you doing to my boy, Jimmy? What do you have planned?
I guess we'll figure it out sooner or later.
We woke up that morning to yet another double Margaritaville day, the first of which was in Miami, Florida.
I don't know if I can continue seeing Jimmy Buffett's face.
Yeah, you kind of have to, so.
I'll go like this. I'll say, I don't want to see you, Jimmy. I don't want to see you.
I'm just confused how you have a problem with seeing Jimmy's music videos or concerts.
But not like
you
screaming
animatronics
gorillas.
screaming in your
Yeah.
face.
They're not speaking English.
Is that the problem?
This Margaritaville was a pretty basic location. I got a blueberry pomegranate margarita, which was incredibly sugary. But this Margaritaville was not the most significant location that we'd be hitting today, as we would be heading even further south from Miami. In fact, we'd be heading as far south as anyone could possibly drive in the United States. We were going to Key West, Florida, the southernmost point in the United States.
We're going to have to drive across an entire series of bridges.
It's an ocean highway.
And we were a bit nervous about what the rain situation would be like, given the lightning we had seen the night before, and the fact that we were driving behind a truck with a video game amount of propane tanks on it. But we drove it. For people who are not...
I've never seen that kind of truck before. That seems like a horrible hazard. Like, should those be like enclosed or better packaged? Why are they just stacked on the back of the truck? What?
Fans of bridges, this would not be the drive for you, because the majority of this drive involved us being on a bridge over water. If you zoomed out, it looked like we were driving in the ocean. And after 2 hours of driving between islands and bridges, we finally made it to Key West, location of the original Margaritaville, Margaritaville Prime. That is, of course, if you don't include the attempted Margaritaville in Gulf Shores, Alabama, that was allegedly more like a club.
We're going to keep that just between us. Either way, here we are, Margaritaville Prime.
On first impressions, you could absolutely tell this was the original Margaritaville. There was even like a GTA loading screen of young Jimmy Buffett painted on the wall, which for some reason, Eddy was implying looked like him. It doesn't. We got yet again another margarita. And as I was slowing down in my enthusiasm for this animatronic-less place, it appeared that Eddy was having a grand old time. He even convinced me to purchase a Margaritaville shirt with him. When in Rome, I suppose. So we left that Margaritaville and checked into our third Margaritaville resort. This one was definitely chiller than Hollywood. It had more of like a motel type setup to the building.
They gave us a free margarita when we checked in. We were walking away, and the lady was like, don't forget your free margarita. Thought it was a joke. They were not joking.
We're getting drunk tonight. I did a dramatic walk-off.
We headed down to the beach of Key West to decompress after a long day of Jimmy Buffett nonsense. As we sat there on the beach pondering the trip thus far, I could feel my sanity slipping. And also, what was wrong with Eddy? He seemed so carefree, unaffected by Margaritaville's lack of animatronic animals, thunderstorms, and ambient monkey noises. And even more so, what was going on with me? I'm the one supposed to be having fun, living in the joy of these restaurants.
Ted, I feel like your joy comes from a lot of noise happening all at once, which I totally get, because silence bugs the living crap out of me, and I always have to either be talking to myself or have something playing in the background, or else I will drive myself insane. So I think that's why you and I both like the Rainforest Cafe, but Eddy is more for that laid-back, wasting away in Margaritaville vibe of Margaritaville. So I feel like you've just found your respective restaurants. Like, you can go to the Rainforest Cafe and Eddy can go to Margaritaville, and you'll both be super happy.
But it's just not the same. Looking out over the crystal waters of Key West, I could almost see my long-lost friends. The Rainforest Cafe mascots, the Wild Bunch. Cha-Cha the tree frog, Tuki the elephant, Bomba the gorilla. I feel so lost without your guidance. I had no idea what they'd think of this Jimmy Buffett I was spending so much time.
I'm seeing one particular person missing from here. Tracy Tree? Where's Tracy? Granted, I don't think... I think it's better if we all just forget Tracy Tree. I have a video. I might throw it up if I can get it up here. If not, I'll just describe it for you. It was... We were at a Rainforest Cafe for just like a girls' day out. And we were in the gift shop. I started filming the Tracy Tree because I was like, that's funny. And I said something, I forgot what I said, and then it just shifted its eyes straight at my camera. it was the scariest thing ever, and I never looked at Tracy Tree again. So I think it's better if we do leave Tracy Tree out of here. But didn't like this frog do like tax fraud or something like that? I forgot what all their crimes were. I need to go back and rewatch that Rainforest Cafe video.
I'm with. Would they hate me? Was I betraying the Rainforest Cafe on this trip? I don't know. What made Margaritaville so great? Could there really be a themed restaurant just about a guy? I don't know. And I don't know if I was ready to trust him yet. I can probably survive more Margaritavilles, and admittedly, it's nice to see Eddy happy. And we only have like, well, let me see how many have. Oh, fuck. There's 15 more? Made it to Orlando, Florida, where we would check into our next Margaritaville hotel. And back when we booked this, Eddy managed to get one of the last hotel rooms before they booked up. And the only other types of rooms that were available was their cottages. Now, I had no idea what this meant. Cottages at a Margaritaville resort? Little did I know, I would be walking into the dystopian manifestation of Margaritaville. This was not simply a collection of cottages. These were no cabanas, no Lincoln log cabins. This was a suburb in the town of Margaritaville in the county of Tequila. Pastel-colored houses lined the streets. It was so picture perfect, I thought I was in Nuketown. And if things went south, I might need to hide.
Where? What? Like, why is that? Why? Also, for some reason, this yellow one, it's either in a dream. There's this vivid dream that I had forever ago when I was like super young. And it's like of like me and my family at the beach at this like certain house that we were all staying at. I don't know if it was real or if it was a dream, and I can't find any answers because my parents don't remember it, but they're also don't have that great of a memory. So and I was super young, so I don't remember it. So I don't know if it was a dream, but that house looks exactly like what it looked like, just wider. So just like a beach house, I guess. But like we've never had a beach house. But just seeing that right there made me like flash back to that hazy memory. But what I was gonna say is, why are there so many like beach houses, and why is there a Margaritaville in the center of Florida? Like Orlando is like dead center of Florida, especially where this Margaritaville is, because I know where it is. I used to drive by it a few times, back where I used to live, but that was like forever ago. Then we moved. And then we moved again, and now I'm here. But why is there so much, like, that doesn't feel like prime real estate for a Margaritaville?
In a fridge. That's an Indiana Jones reference. Not only that, but when I checked in, they upgraded my cottage, so I got a house. I became worried that I'd never make it out of this town. Like I was trapped in some Twilight Zone alternate reality. So I ran amongst this picturesque village. It was a labyrinth of tropical nightmares. Pastel colors, margaritas, quotes from Jimmy Buffett everywhere I turned. I was trapped. There was no way out. Purgatory was here. I was stuck in Jimmy Buffett hell. I was trapped in this purgatory for at least a full 24 hours, but I'm not even sure.
God.
The minutes turned into hours, and time just became a construct. Oh, cool new merch. Wow, look at this fashionable stuff. This makes Purgatory almost better. Wow, look at that. You're telling me all this stuff is available right now at Ted.store? Oh my goodness gravy. Oh my goodness gravy. That's pretty cool.
If it's still available, go buy it, because I've had this since I bought it, and I wear it all the time. It is so comfortable. It has like this like wool like inner lining, but it's like not real wool, but it like feels, it's so comfortable. And that's the one I have right there. It's just in gray. But yeah, no, it's very good. So go buy Ted's merch if it's still available, because it's so good.
Cool. Ooh, look at that shirt. Hope people head over to Ted.store to get some cool frickin' merch. But yeah, I'm in Purgatory and I wasn't sure how long I'd remain here. That is until day 11, where I managed to escape this purgatory to rejoin Eddy at the Florida Universal CityWalk Margaritaville for our final location of this exhausting Florida supercluster. This Margaritaville was absolutely massive. I'm surprised they could fit this much in one place. They had a collection of sea animals hanging from the ceiling, which tragically were not moving or making a sound. I'm starting to think that these were innocent animatronics that Jimmy hunted for his own nefarious reasons. Another margarita ordered, and I think I'm starting to lose my mind. Not only that, but this Margaritaville had the interesting addition of people on stilts, making balloon animals for customers. I'm not sure how this relates to Jimmy Buffett at all. Maybe they just wandered in and nobody's doing anything about it.
I think
I'd like to picture that. just like having like 3 people kind of walk into your restaurant on stilts, and you're like, we're making balloon animals for the guests. Oh, uh, okay. I'm not sure if you can, and then just kind of like stride past, and it's just like, uh, oh, okay then. Hi, welcome to Margaritaville. How can I serve you today? Also, this location I have walked by many a time. I've never gone in, but I've walked past it multiple times going to Universal. Um, I've never seen those stilt people, so I don't know when they showed up.
Might be an it because that's not the size of a normal person. That's way too tall.
What do we think about dehumanizing people on stilts?
Dehumanizing them?
Oh yeah, your legs aren't like that. You don't
What?
deserve to have a driver's license or a home.
Based on the menu, it appears that Jimmy likes to
Why?
create strange chimeras of food, such as the nacho burger or the loaded baked potato soup. So I kept it safe and I got fish tacos. Upon finishing at this location, we would depart Universal, and I was getting pretty excited for this because it was finally time to escape the clutches of the Florida supercluster. See you later, you demonic suburb. I hate you. So Eddie and I departed to head further north, driving all the way from Orlando, Florida to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where tomorrow we'd be hitting our next Margaritaville. But before that, this video is sponsored by SoFi. When I was going into college, there was a lot I had.
I am going to skip this ad read. However, go support Ted's link of SoFi, because going through Ted's link will actually support him and SoFi as well. So make sure you go use his link in his description. I'm linking the original video so you can go find that. Anyway, let's get to the video.
Do it, baby. This Margaritaville was located at a place called Heroes Harbor.
It's sort of like we're kind of heroes for doing this, you know? When my tummy hurts from eating too much Margaritaville, I think I deserve a Purple Heart.
And at this point, I'd been trying to keep an open mind, but entering another
maybe not.
Margaritaville, which by the way, we were doing on a Tuesday, was filling me with a new type of dread I had never felt before. Is this what Eddie felt like on the rainforest trip? No, that can't be right. This is different. I ordered a perfect margarita, which is the normal margarita, because I just could not handle the sugar content of any of their other drinks at this time. And I decided to take the adult route and order some salmon to give me a semblance of sanity.
Now we are on our way to Atlanta to go to another Margaritaville. Fuck.
So we headed to Atlanta, Georgia
What
for
was
our
that?
second Margaritaville of the day. Everything was going swimmingly. We were making good time on our drive. That is, until disaster struck. As we were driving down the highway, we eventually would hit standstill traffic. And this delayed us for a very...
Yeah, do you know why? Because Atlanta is horrible with traffic. If you've ever been to Georgia at all, likely, or if you're driving through Georgia, you have likely gotten stuck in the traffic through Atlanta. I was visiting some family members who live like northern Georgia, and we went the long way around to not have to go through Atlanta, and we got there super like early, but a relative of mine that left around the same time we did got there like a day late, not even joking. They had to stop to get a hotel because that's how long they were in traffic. Atlanta traffic is so bad. Like that's just how it is. You never drive like within like a 50 like mile radius of Atlanta, or else you get stuck. Like it is bad.
long time. This was not good because we had to make it to our next Margaritaville tonight in Atlanta. Eventually we started moving again, but we had lost a lot of time. So we called and confirmed that the kitchen would be closing at 11 p.m., which was awesome. So we finished our drive to Atlanta and walked over to Margaritaville to eat, only then to find out the kitchen had closed an hour early because they weren't as busy. This was a huge problem because even though the bar was still open, Eddie's goal is to eat at every Margaritaville, so it wouldn't count if we didn't eat here. And we'd be departing from Atlanta tomorrow hours before they'd open again. So if we couldn't eat here tonight, the whole trip would need to be rescheduled. All of the bookings that we made, everything. I didn't really know what else to do in this situation, so I made a gamble. I walked inside and I met with the manager and I said in full honesty, hey, this is gonna sound really, really weird, but me and my friend are going to every Margaritaville in the United States. We really need to eat here tonight because we're leaving early tomorrow morning before you guys open. Is there anything that you can do to help us out? It could just be some chips, literally anything, as long as we eat here it counts. And to my absolute delight, she says, I got you. So she goes back into the kitchen
That's
as the
awesome.
restaurant is closing and starts preparing some food for us. We didn't even know what they were making for us either. It was a mystery. But at this moment, we were in disbelief that they were even helping us out in the first place. And after a little bit of waiting and shock, they brought out the food, and it was beyond anything we could have expected. They made us a full set of ribs with fries and chips with some artichoke dip. They even gave us each a margarita. And this food tasted better than anything I had
That's
eaten on this
awesome.
trip. The ribs were fall off the bone. The fries tasted like pure kindness. The margarita was infused with joy. We were blown away with just the pure kindness that was displayed to us in this moment. And we left that restaurant and just felt so grateful specifically to this manager for helping us out.
We will now continue to go onward to our next margarita.
I think I've been to. I think that's a park. I think I've been there. That looks so familiar to me. That's crazy. I've only been to Atlanta once, and it was really scary. Another story time. I have a lot of stories about traveling because a lot of the times it goes poorly. But I used to live in Georgia a long time ago, and I had some friends that I was visiting that I hadn't seen in a while. So my mom drove us into like, I think it was that park. It might just be another park in Atlanta, but that, like, the gates and everything look very similar. And we met up. There was like this like concrete slide thing that you could use like these cardboard like things to slide down. I can't describe it any better than that. It was just like this concrete slide where like you can make like a sled out of cardboard and then slide down it. It was fun. I remember it being fun. But afterwards, when we were leaving, my mom realized that we did not have like any gas in the car, and we were like super low on gas. Remember Atlanta traffic, and the closest like gas station was like a mile down the road. And so I was sitting here in the car thinking, we're gonna stall out in the middle of Atlanta and not be able to leave. And it was like so scary. It worked out in the end, obviously. I'm still here. But yeah, no, we had enough gas to get to the gas station. There wasn't too much traffic on this particular road that we were using, which was weird, especially in Atlanta. But yeah, no. So that park looks familiar.
Margaritavilles.
No delay.
No delay.
Without any delay, we reached the Nashville, Tennessee Margaritaville, located right in the center of Nashville. And this Margaritaville took on some of the city's identity, like a person playing live country music in the restaurant. But despite the wonderful moment yesterday, I was still struggling with how many we had gone to. I mean,
Oh,
a big
no,
part of
he
it was
looks
the
like a
lack of
mess.
safari fries. Just put safari in front of fries and I'm gonna be good. But you can't do that, Jimmy, can you? And the persistence of Jimmy Buffett to put his plane, the hemisphere dancer, in most of the locations was starting to make me mad. Like, we get it, Jimmy. You own a plane. Good for you, man. Oh, what, the restaurants and resorts and tailgate grill weren't enough? You need to rub in that you own a plane, Jimmy? The nerve of this guy. After leaving Nashville, we drove 213 miles to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Yes.
And I'd never been to Pigeon.
Yes. Oh my god, I love Pigeon Forge. That was literally on the two, on like the only two. I can see it. I can see it right there. Those spires right there is Magic Quest. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I don't think I have it anymore. Oh no. I don't think I have the one anymore. I think it's back at my parents' place. But it's basically like this interactive like magic like game where like you bought a wand and you could go around to different like interactive screens and like sets and stuff like that, and like learn spells and defeat monsters, and it would save all your progress on the wand, and you'd like rank up. So every time you went to Magic Quest and you use that wand, you'd be able to unlock certain rooms. Like, there were actually like doors, like closing doors that would lock unless you had the right spell to open them. It was genuinely so cool. I also remember at this location they had a mirror maze like also in the same building, which I thought was weird, but that's beside the point. But I had this like blue wand with like an ice dragon like topper thing at the end of it. It was really cool. I want to see if I can find like an image online that looks like the one I had. But that was so much fun. There's also, I think you can see it right down here, this little red barn shaped thing is like a gemstone like thing, like where you can like like scoop up some dirt and like wash it out, and like you get like gemstones and stuff. I do have those. I don't remember where I put them. They're probably still in boxes because I haven't unpacked everything. But it, I loved this place. This place was perfect for a road trip. Like there's like I was talking earlier about how like the roadside attraction things don't work. This is how you do roadside attractions, because these were genuinely so fun. And it was like, I know I'm like going on a rant here, but genuinely this is something that I loved like so much as a kid, and I want to go back and do it again. I'm saying the masked road trip is totally something I would love to do. But that's again distant future. But the Magic Quest at this location, Pigeon Forge, we would always drive through because we were visiting family up north. We would always end up driving through Pigeon Forge, and we'd always spend time here, at least like a few hours, or like maybe a day if we wanted to stop and make a day out of it. Here at Pigeon Forge, they also had like an aquarium here, and like they had like log cabins up in the mountains. Like it was generally such like a fun place to be. But I remember we went to Magic Quest, and they give you a starter wand that you can just use like while you're there, but you can buy like a permanent wand that you can like take in and out and like use at multiple locations, which is what we did. And I remember we left there like, and I was like, I want to say it was like a Magician's Apprentice or something like that. I don't remember the like the levels, but then like 2 years later we came back through Pigeon Forge and we went back to Magic Quest, and I went back and I completed everything. Like I literally have 100%ed Magic Quest. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Oh, I want to go back so bad. That would be so much fun. Anyway, back to the
Pigeon Forge before,
video.
so I was confused when everything around us turned into weird.
There it is, right there. Yep, I was right. The red spires. Because no, I remember specifically that this top part always confused me. Also, Mellow Mushroom. This one in particular. There's some in Florida that I've been to that are just like, it's a pizza place. It may just be my childhood wonder that's kicking in. This Mellow Mushroom was the best restaurant I've ever eaten pizza at. Like, genuinely, I remember loving that one so much. It was so good. I want to see if I can see, like, the
Gimmicky business.
Yeah, okay. Actually, you can. Okay. See this, like, little small white... It's hard to see. But this, like, small white square, that's, like, the sign entrance into the Mirror Maze. Genuinely, I could talk about Magic Quest all day. It was so much fun.
And something called a dinner feud? The fuck is a dinner feud? Is it a business where you go fight people during dinner? This strange town is where we'd reach our second to last Margaritaville resort. Upon checking in, it was funny to see all of the Margaritaville decorations, but with a clear Tennessee twist to the design. Changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes, brother. We even got a license to chill. It's engraved into the wood.
I was so worried, dude. Thank God. Can you imagine if we wanted to chill and we didn't?
I wasn't that worried about it.
So we walked across the street
lucky.
to eat at our 13th Margaritaville. Another margarita, some more food, and the only thing notable about this Margaritaville was the strange contraption they had, which I assumed was supposed to fill the blender with margarita, but nothing happened the whole time we were there. I was bummed too. I was looking for some spectacle for once. On day 15, we had a big driving day. We departed Tennessee and drove more than 600 miles to a hotel outside of Philadelphia. And on day 16, we got ready to have
2 Margaritaville meals today from, our favorite restaurant, the most chill place on earth.
That's not true.
Created by your boy, Jimmy the Bee, Jimmy Buffett.
Uh-huh.
Greatest American singer-songwriter to ever grace this earth.
I don't know what's happening to you right now. This is...
Cheeseburger in
Eddie's been, like,
Paradise.
properly
Yeah, no, we've had it.
Margaritaville.
Uh-huh.
His other songs.
Our first stop of the day was in Atlantic City, New Jersey, which is sort of like the Vegas of the Northeast. And normally, I would not make that distinction, but in order to reach the Margaritaville, we had to walk through an entire...
Yeah, casinos. Y'all, I know I'm pausing like every 5 seconds, but funny story. I was in Vegas again when I was younger on one of those like road trips. Again, this is why we didn't do that many road trips when I was a kid, because we just went like everywhere. But we were at the Luxor, and I was walking through the casino because that's the only way to get out of the hotel. And like a blackjack table clerk like walked over to me and said, "Look down at the ground and don't look up until you leave the casino." I didn't know why. My mom was confused and was like, "Why?" And they just said, "She can't be looking at the tables." If any of you know why that is, I guess I could just Google it, but like they might steal my data if I do that. Whoopsies. A bit of a topical reference for you there. But it but no, I still to this day don't know why. I don't know why they did that. I did get it was the most useless thing. Like there was like a gift shop in the Luxor, and I remember this vividly. They had like all these like light up displays of all the Avengers and stuff like that, because like it was pretty like the like I think it was like Age of Ultron had just come out, so like all of these like posters and stuff like that. I pick up the Hawkeye one because Hawkeye was my favorite. I will defend Hawkeye until I die. And I was like, I want this one. And my mom was like, really? What about Iron Man? I was like, no, I want this one. And I still have it. I know I took that one. I know I have that one in a box here somewhere. I don't know where it is though, but I know I have it in my apartment. So anyway, back to the video again.
I'm riding my luck. I'm taking my chances.
Casino. So we reached the Margaritaville, and Eddy was behaving even stranger. I guess he's trying to be cool or chill. I'm not sure what he's going for here. He also was looking at the menu like he was seeing it for the first time, and not the 14th consecutive time in 16 days. But hey, another margarita, another round of the same themeless food. Eddy tried to steal some of mine like a little rat. We got another photo taken of us. I'm clearly having the time of my life. Look at me, I'm so happy. And after we finished, as is customary, a quick touch to the Atlantic Ocean, and then it was time to move on.
We're on our way to the next
That little look
Margaritaville.
of joy was so funny.
You know?
I just didn't understand how Eddy could be having such a good time. To be honest, it was kind of pissing me the fuck off. I don't know who he was becoming, but it was clear he had a very different view of Jimmy Buffett than me.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that about him.
Okay.
Wow.
What are you doing?
Sorry?
What are you doing?
I'm just very interested in my Jimmy Buffett book. Tales from Margaritaville, New York Times bestseller.
Oh yeah, no, I know about it. You've been reading it for like 2 days straight, but you're making a show of it.
I
You
subscribe.
just-
He's a big artist.
Ted, you just gotta learn to go with the flow of things, you know? Go with the tides.
You don't. Okay.
Sometimes the water comes in and you just gotta go in with it. Sometimes
That's
it
called a
drags you out.
riptide.
Riptide or not, it's all gonna be good.
I just am kind of confused on why you didn't give this sort of energy when we were going to every rainforest cafe.
You don't understand why I'm enjoying going to beautiful beaches rather than going to
A
every
beautiful
fucking mall
forest?
and-
You need to tell me exactly what I should like
beautiful,
so much about
chaotic
these
forest.
experiences at Margarita.
No animatronic screaming in your face.
Still
Okay,
thinking Magic
that's a
Rocks.
negative.
Ted, you just gotta do what I've been doing. Not having a problem at all and not totally freaking out and just being chill and not freaking out
Why are
and
you
trying to figure out
specifying
a
all
way to
these
deal with
things?
it.
And it wasn't just Eddy that was acting weird, because I think these restaurants are doing something to me as well. Oh, jeez. Despite this, I had high hopes for our next Margaritaville, which we would find in...
New York, baby.
the city of New York, home of the Times Square Margaritaville and our final Margaritaville resort. They somehow managed to fit the flip-flop in this one. And hey, check out this view. That's pretty good. We were joined at this Margaritaville with my best pals from college, Katie and Devin. And I'm not sure what I expected from the Times Square Margaritaville, but I for sure did not expect this. They had a giant replica of the Statue of Liberty holding a margarita. It was playing music, there were stingrays and lights. Oh shoot, shoot.
kinda
This is
cool.
kinda cool. This is kinda cool. Katie and Devin were having
Well,
a
it
good
is,
time. It was
so.
a fancy Margaritaville, so our food was good. Oh god, I'm confused. Do I like this place? No.
Sharks.
It's just the margaritas. Jimmy's trying to play tricks on me. That's what this is. This
I
is just a
love-
trick. But hey,
A little thing about me, y'all. I love marine biology, and that's why I'm so happy that the trans icon is like is Blahaj, which is like a stuffed shark, because I love marine biology. I love sharks. I love whales. I love marine biology so much. I took an AP Bio class in high school, thinking that I would learn more about marine biology. I could have just taken a marine biology class. I don't know why I didn't, but you know, I don't know. I love fish. Fish are so cool.
Alcohol is alcohol.
On TikTok, sorry. On TikTok, there's creators. I don't remember their names, but they're like a group of like marine biologists. Why are you looking at me like that? But marine biologists who like pilot a drone along the sea floor and like observe things. Recently, they found like this really like large shrimp, and it was like super big and it had like super long antennae, and it was just like kind of like scuttling, but every now and then it would like look back at the camera. It was. I'm sorry. I'm ranting, but I love marine biology.
I'm here with friends and we're here in New York, so might as well have a good time.
Making moves on GPS. Brand new moolah, ain't still fresh though.
Okay.
Let it for ya, I get checks. I'm investing half and blowing all the rest, bitch.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, my head. Oh, my head. I woke up that morning hungover and realized, oh my god, there were still more Margaritavilles to go. Although now that I think about it, that Times Square one was kind of cool. I mean, no, that can't be right. There were no animatronics, no safari fries. Is it possible that Margarita... Well, whatever, let's get out of here. Goodbye, giant flip-flops. See you never again. It was time to hit the road. From New York City, we'd be driving all the way up to Syracuse, New York for another Margaritaville. And during a stop, I noticed that something was happening to my facial hair. Not sure what that's about, but before we reached Syracuse, we would meet up with a special friend along the way. My best friend, Tucker Keene.
Eddie.
Hey man, we go so way back, you know? Great to see you. It's just,
Yeah, I know.
Fucking asshole. For the rest of our drive to Syracuse, I actually rode with Tucker. See ya, Eddie.
Should I show them the condition in which your car is?
My car is great. I'm just nest.
You're in.
So do I. Nesting is so comfortable.
Eddie and I got into a car accident.
Why?
That would be funny. And on your video.
That's those intrusive thoughts kicking in. If any of you drive, which according to my demographic, most of you probably are driving, there are points where I'm like, I'm on a really tall bridge right now. I could totally just like boom and like pop off and like do like a flip and like fly off the bridge, and there's like some road down there, so I could probably like land on it, and then I'm like, no, this isn't GTA, you can't do that. And then so I continue driving, but I always want that like quick save point to where I could just go back, do that, get the satisfaction, and then go back and live my normal life. It's just those little things.
Video, you could be like, Eddie fucking rear-ended us. It was such his fault. And
Eventually, we arrived in Syracuse at the Destiny Mall. This was a really large mall, like one of those crazy Mall of America type-sized ones. And it actually was the first time that we would go to a Margaritaville in a mall. I didn't know they did that. I thought that was Rainforest Cafe's thing. This was one of the more depressing Margaritavilles we had been to.
Yeah.
The blender at the front was in pieces. Tucker started investigating inside it. And when we sat down, half of the restaurant did not have people in it. And it was Saturday. Another margarita down the hatch, and the food was alright. It's probably one of the lower ranked Margaritavilles if I had to choose. But that wasn't the only location we'd be going to today. So we waved goodbye to Tucker and his wonderful wife Emma. See you later. And began our drive to the one and only Canadian Margaritaville in Niagara, Ontario. All we had to do was just get through Border Patrol, and we did on the first try. We've gotten better at crossing the border. Obviously, Niagara is where one of the best rainforest cafes is located, so I changed into an outfit to try to convince Eddie to let us go.
All right, Eddie, I'm ready.
Ted, we're going to the Margaritaville.
We can't even go just once?
So, without stopping at the Rainforest Cafe, we headed to Canada's Margaritaville. What I didn't know was how much this location would affect me. We got sat down right next to a giant projector, which was playing more Jimmy Buffett propaganda. And normally I'd be frustrated with this, but then something shocking caught my eye. Who are you?
Yeah, who is that?
I was blessed with a vision of a pirate mascot in this location wearing a Margaritaville shirt. What was the meaning of this? Did Margaritaville have a mascot and I didn't know? And was I falling in love with this mascot? No, that's ridiculous. There's no way I was falling in love with this pirate mascot. That's crazy. I didn't know how to process these feelings I was having, and before I had a chance to try, another volcano alert, but this time, a giant animatronic bottle of tequila comes out of nowhere and begins pouring tequila into the giant Margaritaville blender. They have animatronics too? Oh. Wait, what's going on? The menu was special as well. I got a spicy margarita and it was really good. We got poutine as well and it was delicious. I could feel something stirring inside me, something I hadn't felt in a while. Was it possible? And as we exited this Canadian Margaritaville, I began to peruse the gift shop and I saw this. A giant Niagara Falls Margaritaville glass. I must resist.
Head.
Sorry, got a little excited there. We finished the night by enjoying a fireworks show over Niagara Falls, and man, Canada, you have done something to me for sure. Tomorrow we begin our journey west for our final 5 Margaritavilles. The next stop on this trip was in Cleveland, Ohio. And while this Margaritaville was admittedly not in the prettiest location, something about these margaritas was tasting better, I think. The food was tasty, and I left there with a smile on my face. This is weird. I'm gonna have to see a therapist after this because I don't know what's happening to me. After Cleveland, we drove 350 miles to just outside Chicago, Illinois, where that night we'd crash at Eddy's mom's place. Because tomorrow, we'd be heading into the city.
Like, I know Danny lives in Illinois, I think.
As we commuted into Chicago, these feelings I was having were not going away. Was I going through a metamorphosis too? Something still was stirring inside my soul, but I hadn't figured it out yet. When we got into Chicago, we met up with Eddy's cooler and more charming and sexier brother, Tony. Eddy, this isn't for you. And we also were joined by the illustrious Danny Gonzalez, who seemed very ready to go to Margaritaville. This location had the vibes of an old Chicago bar and grill. Danny and Tony seemed to be having a good time, and again, so was I. The margaritas were good, and I ordered more fried food. Eddy seemed to be having like a stomachache or something, but I'm sure he'll come back around. Although
I feel like the reason that Ted's coming around to liking it is because he's trained his body to think, oh, margaritas taste good. Things tasting good makes me happy. Margaritaville gives margaritas that make me happy, therefore I'm happy going to Margaritaville. That might be what's happening, so after you're on like the 20th one, you're like, I love this place, because you've conditioned yourself to love that place.
And he got a little bit worried when the volcano alert came on the TV.
Is that real?
In Chicago, yeah.
Laura, get in the basement. Get the dogs and get in the basement. Just go! Oh, never mind. No, it's just a goof.
And they started playing Margaritaville. That song isn't so bad. So we left that restaurant and surprisingly, I was feeling pretty good. So we headed to the Bean.
Don't. Oh, that's so gross.
Don't touch the bean.
Said our goodbyes to Tony and Danny and prepared to head to our next Margaritaville because we weren't finished yet.
I love the summer rain coming down on everyone.
On day 20, we departed Chicago and began our drive to Bloomington, Minnesota for our third to last Margaritaville. My feelings on this restaurant were as cluttered as ever, and this became even more apparent as we reflected on the trip thus far.
Man, especially because this trip is longer, I am really getting tired of these, man. Just kind of glad, that we can enjoy being a little miserable with somebody, to not be alone in that.
I don't know, man. I mean, I was initially like really against him and kind of suspicious of Jimmy, but things have happened, and I'm.
What do you mean things have happened?
Oh no! I'm driving between them.
Are you not tired of drinking sweet cocktails almost every day?
Well, they've got fun names.
If I handed you a vial with a skull and crossbones on, and I said, drink this, it's called silly juice, you would taste it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it could be like a little.
And if I said, drink this, this is poison, what would you do? Are you thinking about it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Thinking about it? If I said drink
It
this
might be
poison?
Give me
tasty.
some time to think. But what if it's like a little character?
What do you mean?
Like, what if it's a little character, like a mascot that came up and said, hey, try this.
Try this poison.
I'd give it a thought.
That's not good, dude.
It's respectful to the character.
You don't need to
it's
respect somebody who's telling you to
pronounced
drink poison. God, dude, what? I don't understand what's going on out there.
We've only got 3 more to do. Maybe I'll figure it out by the time we do those last ones. But I mean, what, we're at 43 minutes. What time is it?
It's 5.
It's 5.
5 o'clock right now.
Okay.
Are you good to drive?
It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, no.
That's a little bit weird. So we finished our drive, arriving at the Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota at 5 o'clock. And after a little bit of searching, we finally made it to the Margaritaville at 5 o'clock. What we didn't expect was for this Margaritaville to be across the hall from the Rainforest Cafe. You can see it in the background of my last video. We had been standing right across from this restaurant a year before, completely unaware we'd be returning here to go to the same spot to go to the restaurant across the hall. Entering this Margaritaville, my conflicted feelings were reaching their breaking point. I was enjoying myself. How could this be possible without the attributes of the Rainforest Cafe? I began to consume, and this food was tasting so good. I was enjoying myself. The environment was wonderful and tropical and stupid, too. Another margarita at this hour? But what time is it?
Oh no.
5 o'clock? No, that can't be right. It was just 5 o'clock. It was just 5 o'clock. Oh God, I'm realizing it now. It's not just 5 o'clock somewhere. Oh God, it's 5 o'clock everywhere. What's happening to me? What a stupid phrase. It just justifies drinking at inappropriate times. Just say that you want to drink at 12:30 in the afternoon. This place is so silly, so ridiculous. How could something like it exist? I reached for my final semblance of sanity, the cheeseburger in paradise, and the question still rattled in my mind as loud as a crashing wave. What is Margaritaville?
The Mall of America has done things to Ted.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I figured it out. I think I figured it out.
He's lost his
I had
mind.
been wandering in the dark. It was with me this whole time. It had been this whole trip. I can't believe I didn't see it before. I had been so blind to reality. The theme, it was all around me. In the air, in the sky, in this kooky character. Hell, even in this roller coaster. It was all so clear to me now. I finally understood what I actually like about themed restaurants. I finally understood why I loved the Rainforest Cafe. And as a result, why I think I love Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville too. It wasn't about animatronics or safari fries or gorillas at all. A themed restaurant was so much more and yet so simple. It just had to be stupid. And it was so stupid. And so I realized Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville was a themed restaurant, at least by my definition. I could finally truly enjoy this restaurant just like I could the Rainforest Cafe. And lucky for me, well, we still had 2 more. On day 21, we began our 690-mile drive from Bloomington to Tulsa, Oklahoma. This was a long drive, but the joy I was feeling for my second favorite themed restaurant, Margaritaville, powered me through it. Eventually, we'd reach Margaritaville number 21 at the River Spirit Casino in Tulsa. And this is also where we'd see our very first Margaritaville Casino, which basically means island-themed gambling and quotes on the walls encouraging that mindset. I'm gonna conveniently ignore this portion of the language we're using here around gambling, Jimmy, because I think we're on the same page for once, and I don't want to ruin this thing we got going on, okay? This Margaritaville would be our final fancy Margaritaville. Everything we ate here tasted good. And you know I'm getting the poke nachos again. Yummy, yum, yum, in my tummy, tum-tum. That's what I say, that's what I've always said. We were graced with another volcano alert, in which this time the margarita would come out of the volcano and waterfall into the giant blender. Probably a lot of minerals in that margarita. But despite the dinner and a show we were receiving from Margaritaville today, Eddie was not showing the same enthusiasm for Margaritaville anymore. So the next day, I decided to kindly and maturely speak to him about it.
So Eddie, when are you going to change your name?
What?
When are you going to change your name?
What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I just thought, you know, based on the way you're acting, maybe you'd be changing your name to Mr. Hates Fun and last name Margaritaville.
What, I hate fun for just being a little bit exhausted? I don't understand what...
I don't know, you tell me, man. I got to where you were at. I was suspicious of Jimmy. And then I opened up my heart to the margaritas, and now
Ted like super drunk right now.
Margaritaville's?
I was suspicious of Jimmy.
What's the deal, man?
So I just want to start off. I don't think whatever place you're in is where I was at all during the trip. To be honest, honestly, I want to ask you, you weren't enjoying it when we had like good locations or when we started it, when we were just kind of having a couple of drinks.
I just didn't get it.
I just don't understand how we go to more and more of these restaurants and you like it more. And to be honest, you get weird.
What do you mean I get weird?
All I would need to do is hold up a mirror to you saying that.
Well, unfortunately for you, there's no mirrors in cars, Eddie. Jesus. I just don't understand why we can't be on the same page, okay? We go on the entire trip where we go to Rainforest Cafe, you hate it, you're miserable the whole time, and then we go on this Margaritaville trip, you're loving it, you're loving it. I don't know what's going on, but then I start to like it, and I'm seeing maybe the magic is in the sauce, maybe Jimmy has something going on. I thought that maybe we'd understand ourselves for once, but no! So, I ask you, Eddie, why can we not get on the same?
Because it's who we are, Ted!
Oh?
It's who we are. We're different people, okay? You would eat at a restaurant that would give you food poisoning multiple times if there was just a little animatronic to keep you company, okay? And I like to complain about things sometimes. All right, is that so bad? It's who we are.
Well, then I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
You don't have to say it twice. I said yeah. You said it a third time. Fuck.
Is this scene nominated for like an
Was it
Oscar
true?
award or
Were
something?
Eddie and I destined to never be on the same page about these restaurants? I racked my brain, trying to think of a way to bring him back to the light. There was only one location left, so I had to think fast. And that's when I realized
There was still a chance to save him. The last possible thing that could get Eddie on my side once again. Margaritaville's homemade key lime pie. A dessert infused with the soul of the original margarita.
I really, a little story about key lime pie. I haven't tried key lime pie itself, but just the idea of like lime in like a dessert food, I never understood until my boss, like one day after our like shift was over, just like had a bunch of cookies, and she was like, "Hey, do y'all want like these key lime cookies?" I forgot what else was in them, but I was like, "Sure." And so I picked one up. I tried one. It was delicious, and I was like, I've been missing out my entire life.
Margaritaville in Key West. It was the only thing I could do to bring the spirit of Jimmy Buffett back to young Burback's heart. And what a perfect place for our final Margaritaville. Las Vegas, where the seeds were sown for this entire trip. I was ready to implement my plan and bring Eddie back onto my side. However, it seemed like Eddie had done some soul searching as well, because he had a surprise for me.
Stand right there.
Oh?
Ted, we are headed to the final Margaritaville, but what do you say we make one pit stop first? Do you want to go to the Rainforest Cafe and get one drink?
Yeah, I do. That's right. Before our final Margaritaville, Eddie and I were going back one final time to the Rainforest Cafe. And it
Eddie
was
is such a dad.
so beautiful. Hello, giant pillar of giant fruit. Hello, animatronic gorilla. Hello, Tracy Tree, you weirdo. Hello, fake starry rainforest sky. And hello, thunderstorms. Oh my god, I miss the thunderstorms. It was beautiful, and we appropriately got Cheetoritas, and they were so bad, but so good at the same time. I could feel Eddie and I coming together again, even if it wasn't in the way that I thought we would. So we said our goodbyes to Rainforest Cafe and kept going, because we had one final stop to make, our final Margaritaville. So we entered that restaurant. We sat once again in a boat design booth. We raised our margaritas in celebration, and there it was, in all its glory, a key lime pie. And with one single bite of that tropically infused dessert, we realized what we had done. Oh yeah, we did. We had done it again. Every Margaritaville in the United States and Canada. Through the trials and tribulations, the rainforests and the beaches. We had traveled across an entire continent twice just to go to some themed restaurants. We completed 2 road trips for the stupidest reason ever. And you know, despite our differences, we had done it together.
Amore, adesso vieni qui, tra le mie braccia voglio stringerti così e amarti per l'eternità. Con I baci miei io ti darò tutto l'amore che ora ho, perché sei solo tu, l'amore.
That ending was like so cinematic. Also, that's such a sweet frame. I want to go back to it. Like this has such like so much of a different meaning now. Now that he's passed, it's like he's in the clouds watching Ted, proud that he made it to every single one of his Margaritaville restaurants. Like that's kind of a sweet ending, but that was incredible. Oh my gosh. I want to do something like this. I would love to go do something like this. Like to just like visit the like every blank across the entirety of the United States and Canada, because that seems to be the trend. They said there's always at least one in I almost said Ontario, which is in Canada. I was gonna say at Niagara Falls, because they've been there twice now. But it looks like so much fun. Just go on like a road trip with somebody and visit everything. And I know they're actually like not mad at each other. I know that that's just like kind of like part of the show, but it's still so funny to watch them bicker about liking themed restaurants. I wonder if they're gonna do another one next year. I'm trying to think. Like Rainforest Cafe and Margaritaville are the only like restaurants like it. Like the only other one that I can think of that's like themed is like I'm just like I don't know. They could go to every Magic Quest. It's only one, I think. Actually, no. No, there are multiple Magic Quest locations. Might be part of the master road trip, maybe. Anyway, but this video is hilarious. It was so funny to watch, like, Eddy was loving it, Ted was hating it, and just to watch them slowly, like, rival and, like, shift positions was so funny. Their commitment is also crazy. Like, that's, like, what, like, how many days was it? 25 days of driving and drinking. That sounds really irresponsible saying it like that. But, oh my god. This video is hilarious. If you enjoyed it, please go subscribe to Eddy and Ted and Danny as well, I guess, and Schlatt, because they were in here as well. But after you subscribe to all of them, if you want to come back and hit the subscribe button for me, that would be totally amazing, because we are trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. December 31st is our goal, and I totally think it's possible, so please, for that, like, 78% of you that aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, because if all of you do that, we'll hit our goal in no time. But while you're down there, please make sure to leave a like, as it will always help the channel, and also make sure to leave a comment on what you think I should react to next, or what you thought of the video. I am always open to suggestions, and I love hearing what you have to say. But that's better for today. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.